Hey, thank you, LH. How you doing today, buddy? Sorry, I'm trying to keep my puppy here. He keeps trying to step into the camera here with his cone and knock everything around. All right, so really not looking to talk anything about anything. Just wanted to show. I know Silent had a display a couple of days ago on Vega, and I wanted to show. We use Vega here. It's on a roll up. I've got it next to, as a matter of fact, if I can find it, let me get my controller. Just to give an idea of the lightness of the screen again, you can see that's the color of the screen. And raise this up. Now, here's an interesting fact. That Vega is painted on the back of that motorized screen. The other side has Vega Plus, the goppity goop version on the other side. But that's just to show that even in a well-lit environment here, that even though it's a gray screen, and yes, it's not going to carry the same contrast or black levels, that doing good and working at the moment. I got you, man. I just actually wrapped up a little bit early. I figured I'd get a little Vega video out there. Excuse me. But even though Sirius C, which is set behind this, carries obviously a much darker contrast level, overall, you can see, I'll roll it back down here, but Vega, for as light a color screen it is, still holds up pretty well and a pretty decent amount of light. I didn't measure right before. I'm just guessing based on where I have my slider set. Probably somewhere in the ballpark of about 120 lux or so. Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate that. What's up, Silent? I got something I'm gonna do a video where I'm gonna chit chat a little bit about all the recent events. I know that it's been talked to death, but I want to clear the air on a couple of things, especially, like with your demonstrations, some of the things that I've stated in the past, I really want to hone in on and focus in on. I'm not so much worried about the kin thing. And what you say, like you say, value to performance. And man, I totally get that. I thank you for that because that's the way I feel about it. Look, for $60, I mean, you can't buy a piece of crap white screen for $60. And when I'm not that all white screens are pieces of crap, but you can't buy a cheap white screen for $60. So, looking at this overall, so much talk about motorized screens and how, pro neither I, know how to deal with motorized screens. Yet you're looking at a motorized screen that's painted on both sides and still functions extraordinarily well. Doesn't leave any noise. You don't hear when it's coming down or rolling back up. You can see, again, that's Vega with Series C set behind. So, and I really want to clarify, most of the questions that I'm getting from people recently are what would be best for my environment. Do I know the gain that Vega has? Yes. Yeah, it's published out there. But you can see that while like Series C is going to hold up better in higher light, but Vega, for the color that it is, still holds on pretty well. And considering that most people do not watch in more than about 60 lux of light, Vega's become a pretty primary choice. I love the fact that people get excited about black screens, but the truth is even my favorite screen is not one of my black screens. It's not because it's a bad screen. It's just it's not as general purpose as I would look at, say, Vega. Vega you could use in a lot of situations and get away with it. Series C is going to be more like I explained to Silent here that I love watching Series C with like old black and white. I watch a lot of creature features. A lot of the old black and white stuff looks great on it, right? Especially at night in the dark because the blacks are so black. But for overall watching, Vega Plus are definitely my two options. So I'm looking forward to bringing Vega and Vega Plus back in the Goppity Goop format. It won't be Goppity Goop this time. It's going to be called FLE. So that whole lineup is going to become my ALR lineup, and it'll include a new dark silver. I've been wanting to make it, let's call it a dark silver just for funny sake. But the truth is I've always wanted to make a really nice gunmetal. Just didn't fit into my priorities at the time. So this time I'm really looking forward to getting a nice gunmetal out there into the ALR line. So I just wanted to give a couple of demonstrations. I've got my good friend Sean Connery here holding up the front of my projector. I've got a 007 book over here that's holding up the front of the projector because it didn't quite meet the screen. Let's see. Let's give you a couple other things in here just to show what this bad boy can do. I remember that one. See what it is. Is that the beginning? I didn't think so. Let's see what we got. Yeah, Silent, I don't know if you're still on, but that's why I jumped in on yours the other day. I was actually driving. I was getting ready to pull out of the parking lot. I just picked Kip up from having his taters removed. I'll take us out of here and show you everything only gets better. Real quick before we drop this, I just wanted to put a little bit out there about Vega. You can see if I drop in that, it's not even dark in this room, but if I were to just drop the lights a bit, overall, It's just, it'll be a beautiful screen. You see there, texture-wise, color-wise. Yeah, now this is the lightest. So for Jim, this is the lightest screen that I currently make. This is the Vega screen, and it doesn't push as much light back into the room as, say, a white screen will by far. It's more focused. That's the reason, you know, it's a sub-gain screen, meaning that it's in the 0.8 to 0.85 kind of range. But it's dark enough to where it's not going to push back a lot of heavy light into the room. And that's one of the things I want to talk about when I was saying I'm going to have a video where I'm going to come out and talk about the type of room that you would want to use one of these in, or any of the screens, and how I recommend that. Because one of the things that has always grieved me with lighter screens is, you can see the screen here, that's PARTAY Vega Plus. And I made it special because I wanted it to feel like a TV screen. So you'll notice it has a little bit more of what seems to be a glossy image. And it's not really glossy, it's really more reflective from a transmission perspective. But like, it's not super glossy. If you get up on it, it's not like a really glossy screen. It's very reflective. Much like Sirius C is reflective, but I didn't make it quite this appearance because I wasn't really looking for the glare or anything. And the glare comes up heavier in the camera than it does on this actual screen. I actually got the idea from somebody watching a video 2 years ago where they were marketing, and I saw one recently where they're doing the same thing, but where they were marketing both a matte and sort of a TV panel version, and their TV panel version sold way more than the matte. And I kind of get why, because it does feel more like a television whenever you're watching it. It isn't so matted out. And that's kind of the same thing with these paints here, just not on that level. These are obviously less expensive to make, so that's the reason they sell for less. But I would watch this screen sitting here, and at night, if I fell asleep, a lot of times I'd fall asleep, I'd have to wake up, go upstairs. But what would wake me up is the light from the screen just kind of blast in the room. And I never did appreciate that very much. You have a 1300 lumen JVC. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you may want to just kind of reach out to Silent on one of his videos. The reason I say that's because he's got a 1300 lumen JVC he's using with Vega right now. So I'll happily answer whatever questions. If you want to email me, chat me up, be glad to do that. But Silent, being a user of the screen that is not the maker of the screen, you may want to hit him up for a couple of questions. All right. So I don't want to make this real long. It's about time for me to get out there and feed the dogs, but just wanted to put out something with Vega real quick. Yeah, no problem, Jim. No problem. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. But once again, if you have any questions, partayav@gmail.com. If you want to email me, I'll answer whatever you got. All right. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon.